So today we're going to be talking about, let me get all my windows open. So today we're going to be talking about building a business you can be proud of. This was, I know that sounds really vague, but this was an idea that I had a couple weeks ago, and I've been really fleshing it out in my head, like what this means for myself, what this means for all of the coaches that come into our team and our organizations, what this means for our team as a whole, as far as our team culture, all that kind of stuff. And I'm really excited about it. And I think it's a really great, not direction, because it's not like we weren't already headed in this direction, but I think it's a really great thing to focus on and talk about and really make sure that we all understand well. So another thing I wanted to do different for tonight was I wanted to start setting intentions for each of our team calls. So you guys know what I want to get out of the call, and then hopefully it can inspire you guys to think about your intention for our time together. So I thought about mine. My intention for tonight's team call is that this will excite and ignite a newfound vision in each and every person who watches it, whether live or on the recording. And that it'll help you to leave the call tonight and run your businesses from this point forward, even if you've already been doing it, but continue to do it, give you new insight, new excitement, to run your businesses in a way that fulfills you as you're also moving closer to your goals, so that as a team, we have an incredible month, an incredible season, and that we're fostering a team culture that is above reproach and that is unparalleled in all of Beachbody. I already think that we have a team culture that is really unique. But I want it to be just unheard of. I want it to be unparalleled, and I think that it's something we can definitely accomplish. So that is my intention for the call tonight. Hopefully it comes through, and hopefully you guys like it. So I'm going to jump in. I have 10 tips basically for building a business that you can be proud of. So we're just going to go ahead and dive in. Feel free. I have my chat window open, so if you need anything, if anything is unclear, go ahead and throw it into the chat and I'll be able to hear you. So number one thing for building a business that you can be proud of is that you need to decide your trajectory. So if you're on the call, I'm guessing that you are not a discount coach, unless you're just new and you're investigating. But odds are, if you're here, then that means that you are interested in doing something with this business to some extent. So deciding your trajectory is important. We can't go past that, because if you don't know what you want to do, it's going to be really hard for you to take any sort of steps there. So if you're a new coach and maybe, you're just trying to figure it all out, this is a great first step to really think about what it is that you want to do with this business, when you want to do it, how you want to accomplish it, all that kind of stuff. If you're a coach who's been a coach for a while, maybe reassess your trajectory. Maybe your idea has changed. Maybe you have decided you have a bigger goal or a different goal than you thought maybe when you started. So decide your trajectory. Do you want to be a discount coach, a preferred customer? Are you just here to get a discount so that you can continue living a healthy, happy lifestyle using these products? That's awesome. That's fine. If that's you, are you a hobby coach? Are you someone who, are you someone who is in this business and you love it and you want to see it succeed, but this is something that you treat like a hobby? Is this something that you spend a couple hours on here and there when you can? Is it something that you enjoy doing, but you're not necessarily fully invested in as a full energy effort situation? Fine, if that's you. Are you a builder? And now I'm considering builders people who want to make this a business, who have a business mindset with it, and want to build a goal, no matter what that is, from I want to make enough to cover my Shakeology, I want to make a part-time income, I want to make a full-time income, I want to join the Millionaire Club, whatever that is in that spectrum, that would make you a builder, because you have a business building mentality. So the cool thing about deciding your trajectory is there's not a wrong answer to this. You can't answer this question wrong. So don't feel like you have to choose one or the other because there's only one right way to answer, because there's not. You can fall anywhere along the spectrum in any of these categories, but you have to know which one you are to be able to move forward in a way that helps you hit your goals while also fulfilling you personally, because that's our key, right? That's what we're going for. Okay. when you figure out what your trajectory is, what type of coach you are, then you have to figure out where do you want to be? Where do you want to be in 1 month? Where do you want to be in 6 months? Where do you want to be in a year, in 2 years, in 5 years? If you are a building coach, look out that far. You know, like, this is a business. Businesses take time. Most startup companies have a 1-year plan, a 5-year plan, a 10-year plan, and so on and so forth. So it's not ridiculous for you to look and say, in a year, I think I want to be doing this. In 2 years, this. In 5 years, this. It's actually really smart as a business owner to have that sort of mentality. So kind of think about that. Next thing in building a business you can be proud of, once you have those things figured out, you have to set some SMART goals. Because if you don't set goals, all you're doing is daydreaming. You're wishful thinking. Goals make it tangible. A SMART goal is a goal that is specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. S-M-A-R-T, SMART goals. You guys have probably seen that before if you've been around here for a little while. The important thing about SMART goals is it's one thing to say, I need you to set goals, right? I need you to goal set. Well, you could be like, I want to be a millionaire by tomorrow. That's my goal. Well, that's not a very realistic, specific, measurable, attainable, timely goal. So it's just going to set you up for disappointment when you can't make that happen tomorrow, right? We can all agree it's going to be really difficult for any of us to become millionaires by tomorrow. So not a SMART goal. So having those sort of qualifiers on our goal setting helps us to set goals that can be big and hairy and audacious and challenging and exciting, but that are still within the realm of possibility. And then adding specific and measurable helps you to be able to track them. You don't want an obscure goal. Like, you don't want a goal of, I want to read more books. That's great, and that's lovely, and that's very Miss America, but it's going to be really hard to track how you're doing with that goal if you don't have a number or a timeline or something like that. So that's the importance of SMART goals: specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely, which just means they have an end date on them. Once you have some, I want you to write them down. This is important because if you don't write them down, they're not tangible. You're taking them literally from just energy signals in your brain, firing neurons, and you are taking them outside of your body and you are bringing them into the tangible world and writing them down on paper. They are now outside of your head and they are now in the world. It sounds silly, but it really is a mental shift. So you're going to write them down and you're going to then tell them to somebody. This is another really important step. You're going to write them down and you're going to give that to somebody. Your spouse, your sponsoring coach who holds you accountable, or even better yet, your success partner, because they can really stay on track with you and your goals. And you're going to say, these are my goals. These are my SMART goals. I made them specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, timely. I want you to see them because they're real and I need you to hold me to them. So now we have our SMART goals. We have them written down. And then what you do is you check in at the end date and you evaluate. You recalculate if you need to, and if you've accomplished them, you set a new one. So this is the system with goals that we need to have when we're running our business. We set the goals, we make sure that they're the right kind of goals, we write them down, we give them to somebody that is a partner with us or a mentor or someone that's helping us that we know will actually hold us to them. Someone who's not going to baby you, someone who loves you but is not going to baby you. And you're going to give it to them. And then when that time date is up, when the T in SMART comes to an end, you're going to look at this and say, okay, how did I do? Is this still a goal of mine? Maybe my trajectory changed and this doesn't matter to me anymore. If this is a goal, did I hit it? If I did hit it, awesome. Let me set a new one. If I didn't and I still want to hit it, let me recalculate. Maybe I didn't understand this goal enough to set a realistic timeline on it. Let me try again. Or maybe there are some things that I've learned now that I didn't quite do efficiently before that I can do now to reach this goal now. Maybe I've learned and I've grown and now I have a better understanding of how to do it. So I'm going to try again. So this is the way that I do my goals, and I think that it works really well, and I know a lot of my success partners and other coaches do something similar. So this is a really, really great system. Now, why is it so important to do all of this? Well, because if your trajectory is a builder or even a hobby coach, anything other than discount, you need to know what you're working towards, right? Because otherwise you're just flailing around every day. And that's not going to bring you personal satisfaction. That's just going to make you feel frazzled. And the whole point of this business and the intention for this call is to help you build a business that fills you up, that makes you feel proud, that makes you feel excited to do it, and that is adding value to your life, not making you feel stressed or worn down or anything like that. Okay, number 3, find somebody to partner with. So this could be a success partner, another coach that is, maybe on your team or in TeamBTFP or maybe in the Bombshell Dynasty, or just someone that understands coaching, understands what you're doing, is on a similar pace or trajectory to you, and that you can connect with, you can open up with and be vulnerable with. You can share your ups and your downs. You're going to go to them when you need to vent or when you're frustrated and you just need a listening ear. You're going to go to them for advice. You're going to encourage each other. That's what success partners are. Find someone to partner with that's like a mentor. So you need both in your life. You need success partners and you need mentors, because the mentor is going to help you from a different perspective than your success partners are going to help you with. You're going to learn a lot from both. And the relationships are both going to help you grow, but they're going to be slightly different in the way that they come at you. And third, find a life support. This is what I call it, life support. So someone that's not necessarily in Beachbody, but that loves you and cares about you and supports you, that's going to be your life support when you need it. So that may be your spouse or your significant other. Maybe it's your best friend. Maybe it's your sister, your mom, your dad. Whoever it is that supports you outside of it, so that, sometimes when you need someone to give you an outside perspective or a reality check that has nothing to do with the business, they're there for that. And because that helps ground you so that you don't just get wrapped up in this Beachbody world 24/7 and you have no reprieve from it. You need that person from the outside to be like, listen, you did really good. Like, just because you are wrapped up in Beachbody and you don't see that you are really inspiring a lot of people, you're really successful, whatever it is, you need that life support. So deciding your trajectory, setting smart goals, finding people to partner with. That's like your support system. Next, treat it like a business. So if you are a discount coach or a hobby coach, this doesn't really apply to you. So you can stop listening for the next 5 minutes. You can go get some water, go use the bathroom or whatever. If you are a building coach in any sort of capacity, then this is super duper important. If you take nothing else out of this call, I want you to hear what I'm going to tell you about this. You have to treat your coaching business like a real business, because it is a real business. You are an independent contractor who has started their own business as a coach. And I know that it's so easy to sign up as a coach and it's so fun. And sometimes we forget that this is actually a business with crazy potential as a business, and we kind of don't treat it that way. So you may need to look at what you do day in and day out and see, am I treating this like a business or is this more like a hobby? Some things that you can do to help you figure that out. The number one thing that I use for myself, I don't remember who told me this, but they told me it back when I was just getting started as a photographer, and it stuck with me, and I've used it as a measuring stick for myself, being self-employed ever since. And so I think it's a really great tool. Would you hire you? Would you want yourself to work for you? If you were a boss and you were your own employee, and you as a boss saw the behaviors that you do, you saw the amount of work you get done and the time you get done, you saw how consistently you hit your targets of what you needed to do, would you hire you, or would you keep you on your staff? That was a huge eye-opening moment for me when I first heard it, because I was like, crap, no, I would not want me as an employee. I am late to things. I forget stuff. I'm not organized. Like, when I first heard that, I was like, oh my goodness, I would be the worst employee for myself. No, I'm not. And it really made me think, I need to treat this like a business. We don't have a boss watching us, and that's one of the best things about coaching, but it can also be a stumbling block for a lot of us, because we are used to having someone micromanage us. And when we don't have that, sometimes we get a little distracted and we don't really stay on task the same way. So you kind of have to have that mentality of, I am my own boss. So would I be happy with the work that I've been doing? You know, really important perspective. In this business, there are certain business activities that we have to do to consistently build our business. And the cool thing about Beachbody is all the mystery is taken out. So if you were to go and start a photography business, let's say, you went out, you bought all this photography gear, you wanted to start taking on clients, there's nobody telling you what to do and how to do it. You would basically have to stumble your way through or find somebody that was a photographer that was willing to give you all their trade secrets. And you would just have to learn by stumbling through, by Googling, by whatever it is. You are in a company where they have done all of the guesswork for you. They have done all the research, and they have told you with certainty, with math and numbers to back it up, here are 3 things you can do every single day that will move your business forward at a steady pace and help you get to your goals. And those we call the vital behaviors. All the guesswork is done. You do not have to wonder, what do I do today as a coach to move my business forward? What can I do? What can I do? It is already figured out for you. And that is so awesome. But because it is so simple to do, it's also really easy to forget to do. And we can get caught up in the bigger picture of the business. Like, oh, I need to reach more people. Oh, I need to start a blog or a website, or I need to totally come up with a whole new Facebook idea, or all of these other things, which are great. I love how much creativity is on our team and how brilliant everybody is and how much everybody looks for new directions and paths to carve, but it has to be done after your basic business building activities, because otherwise you're just shooting your business in its own foot. You're just shooting the feet out from yourself, and you're doing all this work and all this work, and you have no foundation underneath of it to hold it all up. So you're doing all this great work out here, but there's nothing underneath to carry it. And eventually, without a foundation, the house that you're building it's just going to crumble down. So do you know what your vital behaviors are, and do you do them consistently? Now, this isn't something where like you need to never take a day off, never take a vacation, but think about it like a job. Do you do them at least 5 days a week, right? Do you do them consistently about 5 days a week, like if you worked anywhere else as a job? Great little indicator. And there are trackers in our team files that you can use that are already made, where you can check off all of your 3 vital behaviors and all other activities that are common to coaches if you want to go a little bit beyond that. And they're really, really great if you need a visual, like if you need to be able to mark it off. I don't know about you guys, but I am a Ruby personality, so I love achievements. And so I love checking things off of to-do lists, so much so that if I do things that I forgot to write down on my to-do list, I'll go and write them down just so that I can check them off again. So like my to-do list will start with like 5 things, and by the end of the day, it's got 15 because I did like all these other things, and I just wanted to be able to like have the satisfaction of like putting that big old like black check mark on them. So if you are like me and you love that, then you can get the tracker, and that'll really like make you excited to knock these things off every single day. Okay, next, you have to eat the frog. So this, I don't know if you guys have heard of the book Eat the Frog, but this is a metaphor that just means you have to do the things that you don't want to do. And it's best to just get it over with and do it first. Another good metaphor is you have to eat your veggies. Like, even though you may really want to eat the macaroni and cheese and the pork chop on your plate, you have to eat your veggies too. And sometimes it's best to just eat the veggies first, so then you can just enjoy all the rest of the stuff. This is not only for you guys. I don't want you guys to think like, oh, well, Becca has it so easy. Like, she never has to eat any frogs. She just gets to do all fun stuff all the time. I literally, yesterday, when everything was being finalized for a bunch of coaches that were pushing for rank, and I was working on one of my business centers as well, I had to keep calling in to coach relations, and I am such an introvert that I hate talking on the phone with strangers. Like, I hate it. I make Nate call anybody that has to be called that's not like friends or family in our life. Like if we have to call to make doctor's appointments or like call for any sort of issues with any returns or companies, I make him do it because I just like, I get so much anxiety and I never know what to say to people. And so I was sitting there like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to call them again. I'd already called them like 3 times. And I was like, they're going to pick up the phone and be like, what do you want? You've already called us so many times. And I was so nervous. And I'm not even joking to you guys. I'll show you exactly what happened. I had my computer in front of me, just like where you guys are now. And I was sitting on the sofa like this. And I sat there and I went, eat the frog, eat the frog, eat the frog, eat the frog. And like for like 30 seconds until I amped myself up enough to just do the business activity that I knew was going to move my business forward. I had to get this stuff taken care of, but I didn't want to do it. And I had this whole list of things. I've got all of this like blog stuff I want to do, all these fun creative projects, videos I want to record. And all day I was like, I should go record a video. I should go ahead and upload that new graphic to my blog. I was like, no, focus. You have to do these important things before you can go do all these other fun ones. Because if you don't do these important things, you're going to regret it tomorrow when you're not hitting the qualification by one thing that you missed, or by when you're upset at yourself because you could have finished something and you didn't finish it. So I am not asking you guys to do anything that I don't do, to the point of comedy. Like Nate was like, what are you talking about when he came in the room? Because I was actually saying it out loud to myself to try and amp myself up. But you have to eat the frog. So maybe you don't love doing your workouts. Well, you're a coach and you have to share your journey, and you joined this because you wanted to work on a healthier lifestyle. So, just suck it up and get it done. Sometimes it's just better to just crank it out and get it done. Maybe for you, it's really scary to follow up with people. Well, you got to do it, because the fortune in this business, I'm sorry to tell all of you who hate following up, is in the follow-up. You're going to have to follow up with people, and you're going to have to do it multiple times, and you're going to have to get over your fear of thinking that you're bothering people, because you're not. And you're just going to have to keep asking people questions and keep reconnecting with them. And maybe that is your frog. And if that is your frog, then you just got to crank that stuff out first thing, get it over with, rip the Band-Aid off, and be done. So eating the frog, so, so, so important, because you can come up. We are brilliant creatures at coming up with things to do to distract ourselves from the things that we don't want to do. Like, I don't know if you guys are like this, but I can come up with 1,000,001 house projects that have to be done if I'm supposed to like do a chore I don't want to do, right? So like if I'm supposed to like clean out the garage, I'll be like, but babe, I really needed to repaint the dining room today. I really can't get to the garage. Or like, I decided to totally rearrange all the furniture in our master bedroom today, so I have no time to get to the garage. Obviously, this is a super important project. Like, we can't sleep in this room. The feng shui is off. Like, whatever you can, like, you come up with all of these things as excuses, and we're brilliant at it, like masterminds at this, you guys, all just humans in general. So if you know that that is true about yourself, like I know it's true about me, you may need to just write it down on a sticky note. It says eat the frog, and like stick it like right on your computer, so that when you wake up and do your coaching, you're like, oh crap, I got to do those things first. But you will not regret it. You will not regret doing the things that are going to move you forward and move your business forward. And every time you eat the frog, it gets a little bit easier. I'm not going to lie. Inviting following up for me was really scary in the beginning. Now it doesn't even faze me. Now it's like as simple as, hopping on a call and talking to you guys, which was also really scary for me in the beginning. And now I love it. Now it's not scary at all. And it just becomes easier and easier every single time you do it. And even calling customer service 2 years in, it's finally becoming less scary for me. The more I do it, the less horrifying it is, and the less I dread it every single time, because you get better and you get more comfortable and you work out the kinks. And yeah, you have some crappy things happen, and then it's like, oh, well, that wasn't so bad. Like, even when bad things happen, you learn to roll with it, and you fix it, and you figure it out, and you move on. So eating the frog, really important. Still under treating it like a business. Know the rules of your business. So this is something I talked about a couple of months ago in a team call when I said ignorance of the rules is no excuse. In Beachbody, there are a lot of policies and procedures, because this is a network marketing company, and networks are so confusing. Like, think about our binary system of legs, and every time like you have a customer return, it literally like trickles up the volume of everybody above you in the downline. Anytime you need someone switched or moved, like it's this huge cascading ripple effect because of the way our network works. So there are a lot of rules in place to keep that from going astray and getting haywire. Like, this business has to be built on a strong foundation of rules. And in policies and procedure, it can seem like a lot of stuff, and you will learn a lot of it as you go, just naturally. But you have to be responsible for yourself and your business in knowing the rules. If there's something that you're qualifying for or you're pushing for, make sure that you look it up in the FAQ and double check that you have everything you need. If there is something that you're trying to tell a challenger, make sure that if you're not sure about it, just go look it up and make sure that you're telling them the right thing, or ask in the team page. Learn as you go. It's going to happen. You don't have to know everything from the beginning, but have that business mentality of, I need to understand the rules of my business. Once I'm Emerald, I need to understand how placement works. I need to understand what my legs mean. I need to understand how team bonus cycles work. How am I earning money? How much do I need on each leg for one cycle? Be a responsible business owner, and you can educate yourself on this. It's super easy. It's all in the Coach Online office. There are tons of YouTube videos by top coaches that explain all of this stuff too. And then there's a ton in our team files that has it. So everything is out there. You just got to go look for it. Last, in treating it like a business, you have to invest in your business. Every business knows that you have to invest in your business to make it move forward. And I don't just mean in money. I mean in all different areas. You're going to have to invest knowledge, mental power. You're going to have to invest learning. There's a learning curve, and it's normal. It's every single thing in life has a learning curve. And Beachbody has one just like everything else. That's why personal development is so important. That's why finishing your trainings is really important. That's why learning how to use the Coach Online office and the FAQ is really important, all of that kind of stuff. So invest in knowledge and learning and being continually making yourself a better coach and business person. Invest in getting better in general, in personal development, and learning about the things that you're not great in. Ask your success partners for help. Ask them to audit you. Ask them for, any ideas they have on how you can be better. Or maybe they're strong in an area where you're weak and you can kind of trade off advice. And you may have to invest financially. At a certain point, you may have to put a little bit of the money that you're making aside to put back in your business. This is something that Bonnie Engel spoke about on a call recently, about how she saves 10% of every paycheck that she calls her marketing budget. And she uses it to put back into her business, which is a really smart thing to do. Most companies have marketing budgets. So she uses that to buy things that she can use for giveaways or gifts for her team, or she'll use it to pay for a Facebook ad or something like that. But she'll set that money aside from her paycheck so that she has something that she can do. And this doesn't take a lot of money. You guys, you can boost a post for like $3 or $5 on Facebook. You can play around and learn how to get more visibility with stuff like that. But a great little thing to think about as you're growing is you are going to have to pour some stuff back in, whether it's your time, your mental facilities, your mental energy, and even maybe consider putting some money from each paycheck aside to be able to put into your business so that you're not stressing out about it. Know that it's there and know that it's set aside for that, and you don't have to feel guilty either. That's pretty cool. Okay, moving on. Running your business with integrity is my next one. So this is really, oh, did somebody say something? No? Okay. This is really important to me, and this isn't necessarily like, I guess it's a Beachbody rule, but like not breaking the rules is a rule. But I just mean integrity in general. This is kind of where I said I really would love our team culture to be unparalleled. We are really, really good at this, but I just want it to continue. So running your business with integrity, that means relationships. This is a relationship business. Our whole business is about relationships and helping people to have their own successes, whether that's your challengers, whether that's your customers that you're helping, whether that's your coaches. So as a coach, you are responsible for all of those relationships. Don't just sell a bunch of people challenge packs and then forget to help them or forget to follow up with them, or don't sell people programs and then, not keep in touch with them. Remember that these are people and they're coming to you for help. It's really important. Don't sign up coaches and then just leave. Like, just vanish on them. Give them the tools. Give them the trainings. It's all there and it's free for you. If you're a new coach, your sponsor coach will help you with this. But once you're a coach that's been on your own and you're becoming a leader, you can step up and do these things yourself. You can run your own trainings. You can run your own sneak peeks. You can do all of this. It's all of the content is already created for you. You just have to push the button to make it happen. But remember this. Remember to run it with integrity, because when people don't do this with integrity and when they forget about those relationships, that's when Beachbody gets a bad rap, right? That's when people are like, I bought all this stuff and nobody helped me and it didn't work and yada, 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 and nobody cared. It was just about the money. That's not what we want. And it can happen on accident, right? If maybe someone you just forget, or they slip between the cracks, or they sign up at a weird time and you kind of forget to get them plugged in. So try and be organized and make sure that you really focus on having integrity in your relationships with your challengers, your customers, and your coaches, all three of them. Don't leave people in your dust. Don't just do something to help you get to a goal and then leave everybody else behind you. Don't just sign up a bunch of challengers to get to Success Club and forget to invest in them and to really care about their success, to check in with them, to say, how are you doing with your program? Is there anything I can help you with for next month? Are you going to keep going? Do you want me to help you get a discount? How can I be there for you? How can I help you right now? Do you want to pick out a new program? Maybe that'll be better fit for you. Stay invested, because not only is this just good karma and good for you as a business owner, but really investing in people, that is the key to helping them have success. And you guys, this business rewards you for helping other people have success. That is how you move forward. You help your customers have success, you help your challengers have success, you help your coaches have success, and then you have success. That's how it works. So this is really kind of a selfish one for you to do, even though it seems the most unselfish, because by really having integrity and helping other people, you're actually going to help yourself in the long run, because it's going to mean that you have a better business, happier customers, happier coaches, all that kind of stuff. Next, honor your why. So I'm really excited about this one. This is something I've been wanting to talk about for a little while. So there's something that I've been noticing now that I'm in some groups with a lot of leaders in the business outside of our own team, like coaches who've been coaches for a really long time, that have been like 15-star for years and elite for years and all this kind of stuff. And a lot of them have some negative vibes. They just do. They get burnt out. They get frustrated. They push really hard, or they push their coaches really hard, and everybody gets frazzled and burnt out. And this whole business is about living your best, healthiest, happiest life. That's literally Beachbody's core. Carl Deichler says it. It's printed on the wall at corporate. That's what this is about. So if we have a bunch of people who are running these businesses, but they're getting more and more frazzled and worn down and sick and stressed, then there's a piece of the puzzle missing, right? So I think that the piece of the puzzle is honoring your why. So if you're a business builder, you've heard you have to have a strong why. And that just means your motivation. What are you doing this for? What drives you to make this a success? And this is something that's usually very personal. A lot of the times it's something that is tied strongly to emotional things for you. It could be to break a cycle of poverty in your family. It could be to bring your husband home and, be able to work on your marriage and your family. It could be to stay home with your kids if that's really important. Or it could be to be able to send them to the school they want to go to. It could be to create a life for them you didn't have. It could be to create freedom for you, get out of debt, be free from those shackles. Whatever it is, your why is important. And in this business, it is what fuels you day in and day out. And because of that, you need to honor it. It's really important. This is something I learned the hard way, because I got so busy focusing on the things I wanted to accomplish for my why that I stopped focusing on why my why was so important to me. So if your why is to live a life by design, right? Maybe you don't have kids yet, or maybe you do, but the most important thing to you is just to have that freedom, right? To be able to do things for yourself, for your family, for others that you want to do, and to not be worried about finances or other things holding you back, and that fuels you. But if you only ever work, and you never honor that living by design, then you're going to have a disconnect, right? You're not going to remember what your why is, and you're going to get so burned out. Whatever your why is, make sure you honor it by carving out time to prioritize it in your life. It doesn't have to be a ton of time. It doesn't have to be so much time that other things fall apart. It could be 30 minutes. It could be an hour. It could be a day, a night, a week. It doesn't matter what it is. Carve it out to prioritize it. And here is why this is so important. It is going to revitalize you because you're connecting with that thing that is so important to you. It's going to make you feel filled up. It's going to remind you why you're doing this. It's going to bring that up to the forefront of your mind, and you're going to say, oh my gosh, this felt incredible. I want this more. I want this all the time instead of only for an hour. Or I want this every day of my life instead of only one day a week. You know what I mean? So important. Whatever your why is, make sure that you figure out a way to prioritize it into your life on a regular basis. And that is going to just help you so much. It's going to help you to feel better inside about yourself. And it's also just going to help you with your business, because when you come back to your business, you're going to have that fresh perspective of, yes, this is why I'm doing it. This is why I'm not going to give up, because that is so special to me and so important. And I love when I get to do it. So now I'm going to work harder at this so that I can do that more. And as your business grows, make sure that you keep prioritizing your why. So keep adding it in more. As your business affords you more freedom, make sure that you pay attention to your why and do it, whatever it is. Katie Hefner, for example, I don't know if you guys follow her. One of her big passions is animals. Like, she's so passionate about animals, and she wants to be able to help animals that are in shelters. And that is a huge why for her, to be able to donate to them, to be able to foster, to be able to help them find families. And she's honoring that by going and doing that now. Like, she carves out time to go, and they go to these shelters and they volunteer and they post pictures of these dogs that are available for adoption, and they take them home and they foster them for however long the shelter needs, and then they send them back. And they're being able to do that, and plugging into that has revitalized her. And it's reminded her of why this business is so incredible and what it can do in her life. And so when she comes back to do her business work, to eat the frog, she feels so much better about it because she's more excited. So really, really, really important. Next, admit when you need help and then go get it. So you have to be boss enough, be grown up enough, put on your big girl panties, your big boy panties enough to admit your shortcomings. We all have them. And, you know, even if you're on top of your game now, there may come a time when life happens and maybe you get flipped upside down. So when you need help, don't try and hide it. Don't try and power through it or push over it. Just admit that you need help with something and then figure out the way to get it. So maybe you need help. You need support. You need a success partner. Maybe you don't have that relationship. Go get it. Maybe you need help. You need one-on-one time with your mentor to help you plan smart goals, you know, to help you figure out that baseline. Ask for it. Maybe you need help from your spouse. Maybe you need him to take the kids one night a week so that you can do calls with your coaches and really work on your business. Ask for it. Just ask. Say, I really need help with this. I know that I can do this if I just help this area where I'm not strong. I want to strengthen it. If you are genuine about it, people are going to be receptive and they're going to want to help you. Your sponsor coach wants to help you. Your success partners are going to be happy to step in and help you, because that's the give and take relationship. Rising water lifts all ships. So when you do need help, do not view it as a failure at all. We all need help sometimes. We are not super women. We cannot do everything. There are only 24 hours in a day, and we are only one person, and we are human. We have emotions. We have hormones. We have good days and bad days. We get tired. So sometimes we need help, and it is not a bad thing. It is perfectly okay to ask for it. Actually, it is a mature and responsible thing to do, to go ask for it rather than trying to go at it alone. Because going at it alone is a recipe for disaster, burnout, for you to get angry and blow up at people. Not good. Just ask for help. Okay, almost done, promise. Be bold. If you are a business building coach, I want you to write this down, and I want you to circle it and highlight it, because this is one of the most important things that you can do for your business, is to be bold. If you do not ask them, they can't say no, right? That's what everybody's afraid of. Oh, if I don't ask this person to join, then they can't say no. They can't get mad at me. But if you don't ask them, they can't say yes. Okay? It is the flip side of the coin. You have to remember both sides. And if you don't tell them, somebody else is going to tell them. Somebody else is going to tell them about a challenge group. Someone else they know is going to have had a good experience. Someone else is going to end up becoming a coach and tell them about it. And they're going to sign up and be excited and utilize it. And you're going to be kicking yourself because you were too afraid to do it, because you were afraid they were going to say no. If the worst thing that can happen is them saying no, that is not that bad. You got to get over it. You got to be bold. Something that I've discovered when I've done pushes with coaches, leading coaches to really push for a goal by a certain time, when we get down to the last little bit of time and people are like pulling out all the stops to make it happen, you watch people switch. You watch them go from being like their normal self to actually finding their boldness. And that is when magic happens, you guys. I have seen people like go from impossible to possible when they find their boldness. I had a coach who was trying to push for a goal and she didn't quite have it. She was really close, but she didn't quite have it. And it was close to the end of the deadline. And she was saying how, she had just kind of thrown in the towel. But at the very end, we were talking and she decided to just shoot out a message to do a follow-up. And the girl that she was talking to wrote back with a bunch of objections. And she said, this isn't going to happen. This person, they don't want to do it. They don't want to sign up. They think it's too expensive. And I said, be bold. Ask them what is holding them back. They know they want to try PIO. They know they want to do this. Why don't they want the discount? Ask them, prod them, say, what is holding you back? What are you nervous about? Why are you skeptical? We get so nervous we don't want to ask because we don't want people to think we're pushy. But I cannot tell you guys how many times I have investigated further into people's objections and they were completely misguided, misunderstandings, miscommunications. I have a coach on our team right now who she had the weirdest idea about your sponsoring coach had to be local to you. And so she was going to cancel and not be a coach just because she couldn't find someone local to her. And I was like, no, that's so silly. Like, we can talk on Zoom all the time. We can talk on Facebook. And she is wildly successful as a coach. And to think, if I had not just asked her, well, wait, why are you thinking about, ending this? The other day you sounded excited. Now you don't. Like, what's going on? If I had just panicked and been like, oh, okay, she doesn't want to do it, I would have lost that. And she would have lost that amazing opportunity to be a rock star. But because I was like, no, wait, tell me what changed your mind. What are you worried about? What's going on? And she was able to tell me, and I was able to alleviate that fear because it wasn't a real problem. It was an imagined problem. And that happens so many times, you guys. People have an idea about something that's not actually true, or they've heard something that's wrong, or they just get something in their head that you can totally alleviate that fear for them. And then they're so excited, and then they get to have a great experience, and you get to have a great experience too. It's win-win. You have to be bold. Do not let objections lie. There are responses to pretty much every common objection written up in scripts to teach you really natural ways of responding when people have objections. But if someone comes to you with an objection, that's not the end of your conversation. That's your opportunity to help them see the value in this, to see if it's really a good fit for them. Sometimes it's not. And I'm not saying that we have to get every single person we talk to signed up, because that's not the truth. And we don't want that. We don't want people who this is not really going to help them. That doesn't help anybody. That's not good for us. It's not good for them. It's not good for anybody. But we do want to be able to help people get past their own fears and misinformation and misconceptions that's holding them back from really being amazing. Because sometimes there are these people who are they just need you to believe in them. They need you to help them make that step because they're afraid. And you're afraid and they're afraid. And it's like a fear standoff, and then nobody moves forward. So you have to be bold. You have to ask for more info. You have to prod a little bit to dig into their objections. Find out what is the thing that's holding them back. And I promise you, you're going to see amazing things happen. And you're going to see so many people turn around, and they're going to feel like you really cared about them. They're not going to feel like you're pushing them or anything. They're going to be like, thank you for like clearing that up for me. That was amazing. Lastly, understand true virtue. Oh, wait, almost lastly. Understand true virtue. So virtue in our business is helping people find something that works. right? That is what we do. That is the core. That is the good of Beachbody. Like, that's why we're awesome, is because this business is focused on helping people find solutions for their problems, whether that's health and fitness, whether that's financial, whether that's community, whatever it is, that's what we do. We help people find things that help them. And that's really cool and that's really exciting. But I think that a lot of the time, people think that if they have a goal, it takes all the virtue out of everything they're doing with the people they're working with. And that's not the truth. You can have goals and you can still be working with people, and the virtue can still be there simultaneously. I was talking to Craig Collier today. He is one of the corporate reps for Beachbody, and he told me this beautiful quote that I wanted to make sure I shared with you guys. And he said, "You don't have to take the virtue out of coaching to treat it like a business." Let me say it one more time. You don't have to take the virtue out of coaching to treat it like a business. So basically, virtue and business are not mutually exclusive. You can have both things at the same time. You can have integrity and you can care about other people and still be a business owner that takes this seriously and runs it like a business. You inviting people to be coaches, you inviting people to challenges, you giving them follow-ups and second chances, you responding to their objections and really digging into what is their fear, what's their hesitation. Is it that they don't believe in themselves? Is it that they're afraid that you're not really going to be there to help them? Is it that they just have a misunderstanding? You digging into that doesn't take the virtue out of coaching. The virtue's still there because you are still trying to help them find solutions. And even if helping them find a solution helps you, the virtue is still there, because that's the beauty of this business, is that so many things are win-win. Just because they're win-win doesn't mean that there's no virtue or that you are not being a good person or that you don't have integrity. The cool thing about this company is that it's set up that way to have lots of win-win situations so that you still have integrity and you are still finding the virtue in coaching, but you're also still a business owner who runs their business like a business and takes it seriously. Lastly, celebrate together. Remember that you are on a team. Everybody that's under you is part of your team, and you have a team above you. And make sure to celebrate and recognize the people that achieve things because of you and those that you achieve things because of. Because in this business, we are all linked together. My success is because of you. Your success is because of me. Your challenger's success is because of you. Your success is because of them. We are all interconnected in the great circle of life. And it's so true, and it's beautiful about this business. So make sure that you are celebrating people. Do not wait. Don't think that you have to wait to a certain point to really celebrate. Celebrate your challengers. Celebrate your customers. Celebrate any coaches that you have that hit milestones and successes. Celebrate your own successes. Be proud of the things you achieve. Talk about the lifestyle that coaching is letting you have, or the changes to your lifestyle it is bringing into your life. Show people, pull back the curtain and show them how incredible it can be. And it's really going to help you to grow your business, but also to feel really excited, because when you celebrate other people, it just makes you feel good. Like, it makes you feel happy to see other people happy, and it makes you feel like positive to be able to put that positivity out into the world, into someone else's life. Challengers, coaches, it doesn't matter who. It's just that feeling, that good feeling of being part of something positive and being part of it together and getting to make somebody happy and make someone's day brighter. So that is what I'm going to end on. I'm going to go ahead. Thank you guys for listening and stop the recording, and we're going to do some quick Q&A time.